Did that not? Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining me for another special health focus Tai Chi and Qi Gong class. It's been a little while. I've been off taking some time for my health, which I never do, but I've kind of been forced to recently. And because of that, I'd like to share a little bit about what I've been learning recently about my own health. So today I'm just going to have a wee word with you about iron and the content of iron in our bodies and in our diets and how important it is. So let's think about it. Iron is responsible for taking hold of oxygen and carrying it around our body and then releasing it into every cell in our bodies. So it is a vital component to our health and well-being. It makes our hemoglobin into oxyhemoglobin. So it's our iron content, it's that metal that allows us to use oxygen. So it is vital, but it's vital that our iron levels are correct within our body. So folks sometimes experience a lack of iron, not enough iron, and that causes an experience called anemia. And sometimes anemia can get very serious, in which case it's called pernicious anemia. So that is a situation that needs to be addressed by doctors. And vitamin B and vitamin B12 is very important to help support the absorption of iron, as well as vitamin C. So that's on the lack side of iron balance in the body. But there is also a condition that is new to my awareness, which is too much iron in the body. And it can also cause quite a lot of issues, in fact, maybe more so than anemia, than a lack of iron. And there is a condition that is hereditary. I think anemia can also be somewhat hereditary, that people can just, through the family generations, they can just not seem to be able to get and keep enough iron in their system. But the too much iron hereditary condition is a big, long, scary word, and it's called hemochromatosis. But actually you can have too much iron in your system for other reasons. It may not be that you have this hemochromatosis. It could be that you are just overdoing it in your diet or taking supplements that you shouldn't actually be taking. And recently, actually a few times in the last few years, doctors had asked me, did I have hemochromatosis in my family history? And I didn't know what it meant. And I was too freaked out at that big long word. So at that point, my mind was just going, what? And didn't really hear anything much after that they said. But now I'm being looked in. They're looking into it because my iron markers have been high, quite a lot. And I could get into the whole thing. Actually, if you have an iron blood test, they check for two iron markers. So one may indicate the likelihood, if it's high, of hemochromatosis, and the other may indicate that somehow you're just getting too much iron, or your body is holding on to it in a different way. And that seems to be where I am, that somehow I've just been getting too much iron. But the doctors are taking it seriously because it is potentially a very serious condition indeed. Remember that your blood flows and feeds every cell in your body. So if it is deficient, or if it is overly loaded with this metal, it can cause all sorts of issues. And funnily enough, actually either way, whether you're anemic or you have too much iron, one of the big signs is chronic fatigue. Now, I have not been going to the doctor about my increasing fatigue over the last decade because my work buoys me up and keeps me healthy relatively well most of the time. But I have noticed increasing fatigue ever since menopause, basically, ever since that hit. And I just thought, maybe this is age, maybe this is what happens normally. All sorts of little indicators can come forward. So for example, if you've too much iron, you might notice a complete lack of libido. The sex drive is just gone. You may notice more inflammation, maybe in your joints, especially in the knees and the hands, and weakness in the joints. It can cause heart issues. It can cause issues in any part of the body, including the brain. So it's something really best not to Google, because you'll scare yourself witless, as I did when I read the thing. But basically, yeah, exhaustion. So what I would say to you, and folks, I am not the kind of person who personally would go to the doctor at the drop of a hat, even though I encourage people to. But a bit of a hypocrite there, because it's my job. I understand that it is important to go and see the doctor if something strange is going on. But personally, over the years, I have felt disappointed so many times with my own healthcare from the system, that I kind of started to go off on my own and be a maverick and try and sort it out all myself. But this experience has definitely pushed it forwards. If you know that something just isn't right, I would definitely recommend that you just go to your doctor and say, something isn't right, please look into it. And the likelihood is, if they take you seriously, they will do some blood tests. What I would say to you about iron levels particularly is it's not a good idea to start supplementing off your own bat, because you may think you have anemia, whereas you actually may have an overload of iron. Now, I wasn't doing that. I was not supplementing at all, to my knowledge, but I was adding cinnamon to everything, and I was putting cayenne pepper in everything, and they are high in iron. So I have, since discovering all this, I have cut them way out of my diet. I'm just not having them at all, to try and balance things. Iron is pretty much in everything. There's very few things that iron is not present in. So dairy actually is relatively low in iron. Tofu is low in iron. And if you do feel a bit high on the iron side, tea, your commoner garden black tea and green tea, can actually reduce your iron absorption. Whereas vitamin C ups your iron absorption. So I'm actually, not that I was taking a lot of vitamin C, but I was taking a lot of citrus fruit. I have reduced my citrus down. I add my lemons to boiling water as opposed to lukewarm water. So I'm killing off a good bit of the vitamin C now. So there are ways of helping with diet. But again, I think if you're concerned about your iron levels, go and see your doctor. See what they say, get the blood tests if necessary, and then you can work with your doctor, or you can work parallel with your doctor if you need to, that they can do what they want to do, and also you can look to your diet and behaviour. If you have hemochromatosis, and if your iron levels are particularly high, the way to treat it is a thing called a phlebotomy. Basically, you give blood, or you have some blood let out of your system. So they take about a pint every so often. But that's only if the doctors deem it to be very high. And they said to me, Jane, just go and give blood if you're concerned about this. Actually, I tried, and they went, not a chance. You have to make sure they've finished all the tests first, and then either you're signed off, or if you have hemochromatosis, then we'll work closely with your doctor and decide how much blood to take from you and how often. So giving blood, by the way, folks, is a fantastic, amazing and very generous thing to do, but they are very, very, very careful with who they take blood from. You have to do a big questionnaire. It's a legal document. You have to sign it. They have to make sure that you are healthy, that you are well, that you don't have any STDs, or that you haven't had blood transfusions. They even won't touch you here if you've had acupuncture in the last 4 months. So it is not just a question of popping down to your local hospital and giving blood. They're very, very highly regulating it for good reason, because you're not just working with your system, you're potentially influencing the lives of other people who really need good quality, healthy blood. So there you go. So what I would say to you is, if you are low in iron, if you're anemic, and if the doctor has told you that you're anemic, they can help you and suggest the right level of supplements. If you're low in iron, I would highly recommend eating nettles. Nettles are highly nutritious and full of iron, so they're great. Also spinach. And as I say, there's iron in everything. And I'm learning about this. Even Celtic salt, for example. We have a version here. This is off of the coast of France, but you can get Celtic salt from around Ireland, from around here as well. And even though they're not telling you about all the different minerals in Celtic salt, there's a lot that's high in magnesium. The one that they have actually mentioned in the nutrition facts is iron. So there is, for every 100 grams, there's 13.75 milligrams of iron in this Celtic salt, and that's 2% of your daily recommended dose. So even in salt, if it's not highly processed, there's going to be iron in it. Here's another product I bought recently, because I thought I'm always trying to be healthy. This is what I teach. This is what this is my passion, to be healthy. This is hemp seed husks. So, or rather, they have been shelled hemp seeds. And they're great for throwing into bread, for throwing into porridge. They disappear in your food very nicely as these lovely little grains. Very nice. They are high in iron. However, they're also high in copper. And this is what one of my health holistic friends mentioned to me. He said that copper is antagonistic to iron. So if something has a good copper level, it will help balance out the iron level. So I'm very focused on that now, that I'm not necessarily, it's impossible to cut out iron from your diet, and we do need some iron. For me, I'm being a bit more careful, but I'm looking for high copper content as well. So a lot of seeds and nuts are high in copper, and this has a decent copper level as well, so I'm happy to eat a little bit of this. Avocados are high in copper. Copper is present in a few foods, but apparently copper, what are they called? Mineral supplements tend to be, they can make you nauseous. So copper as a pill can actually make you feel pretty awful, but it is present in some foods. So I'm looking to up my natural copper intake, because that will help to balance my iron levels. Because no one's going to take my blood anytime soon, so I'm looking to work on it myself. Interestingly, I met a gentleman the other day who is also being tested for hemochromatosis, and he has had several blood tests, and they're back and forth saying, yes, you have it, no, you don't. Yes, you have it, no, you don't. And in the meantime, he's exhausted and really struggling. And I was going, well, this is what I'm doing. And he says, I'm not going to do anything until they've taken all the tests, because I want to get to the bottom of it. And I celebrate him for that. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to do anything anytime soon for me, so I'm already looking into it. And as you can see, I'm actually wearing copper as well. I have a copper bracelet that has a sort of silver coating on it, but this is a copper necklace that I made myself with 100% copper. So yeah, so there you go. So when it comes to iron, please do not be a maverick. Go and see your doctor if you are concerned. And basically, if you have chronic fatigue, my video seems to have frozen. I don't know if you can still hear me. There we go. If you have chronic fatigue, please go to your doctor. And what I would definitely say is often doctors are a little bit laid back about such things, especially if you have a busy lifestyle. They won't necessarily, pull out all the stops straight away. So use this, please, as a mantra. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. If you keep going back to the doctor and saying something isn't right, please look into it. This is definitely more than just age or hormones or whatever they might be giving you. If you're really sure that you're not well, keep going back. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. People who throw tantrums, I'm not saying that you throw a tantrum at the doctor, but those who do throw tantrums because they know something is wrong and they're not getting looked after, they tend to get looked after better. Even if it's just a case of shutting them up, the doctors will do more tests and look after them more. So tantrums are last resort, but just keep going back and talking to them, please. That there are some things that allopathic medicine, it's important that you get your Western style GP on your side. And just by trying to sort out symptoms yourself, you may be barking up the wrong tree, and you might actually, in the case of iron, for example, you might actually be doing the opposite of what you need, because both sides of the spectrum can present in the same way. So that goes for a lot of things, folks, not just for this. When we are out of balance, we tend to feel fatigue and illness, whatever it may be. So, the scales go two ways. So sometimes we can have a deficit and sometimes we can have a surplus of energy in a particular system or a mineral in a particular area, and they can exhibit in the same way. So sometimes it's really good to get an expert on board. Okay, so let's get up and do some Tai Chi, please. So thank you for wading through all that with me. I hope you found it interesting. Right hand in fist, please. Left hand straight. Feet together, hands together, and press forwards. I hope for your sake that it is purely academic and that you do not experience iron imbalance. But if you do, hopefully what we covered there can actually help. If you are anemic, vitamin C is good. And if you have too much iron, go easy on the vitamin C. All right, so we're going into the four corners and we're breathing. Good. And let's change direction. So today I'd like to do what's called the gold drill. And this is a sequence from the 7 stars in Rotations Qi Gong from Master Lok. And it's his step number 5 in the 7 stars sequence. And he calls it gold because it's working on the metal element. So actually you could replace the word gold with iron. And it's working on the lungs and the large intestines, but it will help to balance the metal elements within your body. Do you see what I did there? Kind of connecting the dots. So we're working on that. Good. Okay, so let's come back to center, and we're going to take our weight into one side and send a little circle down the leg. And then change direction. And shake out. Good. On the other side. So the gold, or iron, shall we say, the metal element practice in this form is actually pure martial arts. So of course all Tai Chi is martial arts, but it contains Qi Gong. It is working on our health. But when it comes to the gold drill, and in fact all of the 5 elements in the 7 stars, We are using pure martial arts that just so happens to be very good for our bodies. Let's open our stance, take the hands to the knees and do just a little circle. And breathe. It was so bright today that I thought I won't turn on the extra lights, and now I'm thinking maybe I should have. I'll do it in a second. Change direction, please. And feel into your body today. How is your body responding? Good. And up you come, easing from your stance. Just do a little stretch, whatever you need, please, while I turn on the lights. If I can reach. There we go. One more. Good. Okay, so let's stretch our legs. We're going to kick out and step down. So if you can, make the feet parallel. Now, if that's too much, if it's difficult to balance, you can turn the back foot out. But see how you get on with parallel feet. And oh my goodness, I have not really done this for 2 weeks. I feel the difference. So yeah, everything's a little bit tight. So we're just going forwards and back. Do you know, I think that's probably the longest I have gone in maybe 20 years without doing this exercise. I do it every day. And I can attest that actually if you do it every day, you'll feel great. And if you don't, stiffness. Okay, so let's feed the weight. Actually, stay forwards for now and bring your hands above your knee. So not on the kneecap, but above the knee. And just send a little pulse down through the leg, and you'll feel it in the point we call the Yong Chuan, which is the center of the foot, or the bubbling well, if you translate it. And now we feed the weight very gently back. So the front leg is straightening little by little as you go. Keep your spine straight. And so we want to finish with the front leg as straight as it will comfortably go. And you're just still sending a little pulse through it just to see how it responds as you breathe. Good. Up you come. Good. Okay. Nice. Wow. Now I feel a real difference between the two legs, the one that has been stretched and the one that hasn't. I imagine this is how my students must feel when they don't do this every day. I can feel the difference. Let's try it again. I'm going to show you side view. So we do the other foot, we kick it out, step it down, and we go forwards and back. Good. And do you see how my feet are absolutely planted? I'm not peeling my heels away. And that means that every time I move, I'm getting a stretch, and I'm also feeling beautifully grounded and secure. I'm not feeling that I'm going to fall over much. Okay, so let's now keep the weight forwards, bring the hands to above the knee, and gently press. If your arms don't want to do it, that's fine. You can just rest your hands. And you see how I'm just gently easing my way back until my front leg is pretty much straight, my back leg is bent, my spine is straight, and I'm sending that pulse into the leg and just feeling my way into the stretch. Beautiful, good job. Up you come, and a wee shake out. Now in Chen style, that's the one stretch that Grandmaster always does, because we spend our whole life on bended knee when we're in Tai Chi, so we need to have yin to the yang. We have to stretch the posterior chain, muscles up the back of the legs, so that we are not becoming tight. This is alchemy. It's a way to transform and maintain youthfulness. So stretching is vital. Any stretches are good, but that one in particular is the one that we must do if we're doing Tai Chi, because otherwise a whole area of our body becomes shortened and tightened, and that's not what we want. So if you found that that stretch was difficult, you could stretch those muscles in other ways. You could stand on a step with the balls of the feet and then just let the heels lower down. You'll get a similar stretch. But what we just did also works on your balance centers and your focus and various other things. Okay, so shake out please, see how you feel. And let's have a look at this gold practice, or the gold drill. When Master Lok used the word gold drill, I thought of like a dentist's drill made of gold. But what he's saying is the drill as in a series of movements that you do again and again, and we do the different elements. So let's start with the footwork, please. If you just watch me first, and then we'll have a go together. You're going to stand on one foot. I'm mirroring. Normally you'd start with your left foot forwards, and you're going to, I'll just have the hands neutral. You're going to step forwards and then step through. So 2 steps forwards. Then you rock back towards your back foot and allow your body to turn a little bit towards the back foot, and then we square up and release the front foot. And then we do the same thing on the other side, 2 steps. So we go 1, 2, we rock back towards the back foot and then square up. And you'll notice that as you square the hips, the front foot bounces back a bit, halfway. Watch sideways on, and then we'll do it together. So we step 1, 2, we roll back and square up. 1, 2, roll back, square up, and continue. Do you see that there is some similarity to the pushing hands practice we did in our last class? There's the forwards, and there's the turning, and there's the squaring up, and there's the shifting of weight. But in this scenario, we're actually stepping as opposed to just shifting our weight backwards and forwards. Okay, so let's do it together. I'm going to show you the back view. So if you go to the back of your space, please, and we'll work towards the front of our space and see how you get on. Because this is footwork, I'm going to angle the camera down a wee bit, so hopefully you can see clearly. Okay, so we're going to start standing on the right, and the left foot is empty. So this is called empty stance. Just use your palms at a level. And in fact, I've got ahead of myself. Can you bring your heels together, please? And your toes a little bit apart. So any good Tai Chi teacher should always start with Wuji. So let's start with Wuji. Sometimes I forget, so you can slap my wrists. So we start with our heels together, our toes slightly apart. We lengthen up through the top of the head and bring the chin slightly down and back. Allow your chest to relax. Calm down. Feel down through your system, letting your toes spread, your weight spread across your feet, your weight sink down into the floor. Calm down. And listen behind. Very good. Now we want to keep that feeling, that chilled out calm, that open awareness as we move and through our day. So I'd actually like you to practice Wuji on a regular basis. It just means get yourself into good posture and then chill out. Listen, feel, and let go. And once you've done that, you've set the scene to then create yin and yang in harmony. So let's take weight into the right foot, sit down a little bit, release the left foot, and we'll have our hands just in a neutral, engaged position. So the front foot is empty. We're going to take 2 steps forwards. Just let it flow. Ready? We go. Step 1, step 2. The weight is forwards. Slide the weight back and turn towards your back foot a little bit. And then square up your hips and allow the front foot to rebound and pull back a bit. And then we do the same on the other side. We step 1 and 2. We roll back to the right and square up. Again, 1 and 2. Roll back to the left and square up. I've run out of space. Don't know about you. Let's try it again. So we go towards the back of your space. And check posture. Relax down. Release your left foot. And off we go. 1, 2, roll back, square up. 1, 2, roll back, square up. 1, 2, roll back, square up. And let's do it one more time. I'd like you to practice this. Don't worry about the arms. It's important that we get the building blocks and work on them to the point that you're happy and relaxed. Then you can build up all the layers together. So we stand, heels together, toes a little bit apart. Deep breath, check posture. Relax down, release the left foot. Ready? And 1, 2, roll back, square up. 1, 2, roll back, square up. 1, 2, roll back, square up. Well done. How did you get on? Are we all happy with that? Yeah, good. Okay, so now let's have a wee look at the arms. So if I bring the screen back up a little bit. Okay. So the arms, there's a lot going on. I'm going to break it down into aspects, into drill. So the first one that I'd like you to do, funnily enough, I do this slightly differently from my partner, from my husband, who also teaches this. I teach it like you're grabbing somebody by the throat. So you can think of that sort of, this is called the tiger's mouth, this part of the hand between the thumb and first finger. So I extend my hand out as if I'm grabbing someone by the throat. At my own throat level, I grab and then draw down. So I do that left and right by turning my waist. Turning the waist brings the arm down. Grab, down to belly height. Grab, down to belly height. So it is kind of like a chain punch. If you know what that means, it's punching continuously one hand and then the other. My husband tends to go with the blade of the hand more than the open palm, which is fine too. It's just variations on a theme. Actually, Master Lok is incredibly versatile and flexible in his tuition of movements. He's often seen to do a movement once one way and the next time another way, just because his energy felt right doing it that way at that time. So there is a lot of leeway with his practice, and if you feel an urge to do it in a particular way, I would say go for it, try it. If after a while doing it that way it doesn't feel right, then see if you can refer to the manual, so to speak, go back to the way I'm doing it, or indeed check out Master Lok's videos and see how he's doing it. Okay, so are we happy enough about that? If you can see it from the side, you're turning your waist. The waist draws the hand down and back, and the waist extends the other palm forwards. So that's your chain punch movement. And again, you can do that loads. You know, that's the nature of Tai Chi. It's the nature of martial arts. We do wushu, or rather say kung fu. which means just do it again and again and again until you get really good at it. That's what Kung Fu means. Good, okay, so that's your first movement. Now, second movement, I'd like you to turn your waist and bring your arms down. By the way, any of these movements should be from the center and not the arms doing the work. So if you're moving from center, you should actually find that your arms don't get sore or tired, unless there's something really wrong with them, that any movement hurts them. But if you're doing it from your arms, they will get tired very fast. They will get sore very fast. So remember, this is the driving force, not this. Do you see what I mean? That's my arms moving, and that's my waist turning. So my very first Tai Chi teacher, Peter Gilligan, rest his soul, he said, put your back into it. Literally, he didn't mean like, "Urgh." He meant turn your center so your back is involved, and therefore your arms and your legs are not working hard. They're just going with the flow. So the next movement, please, you have done the grabbing the throat. What I'd like you to do is sweep down to the side, again by turning your waist. And if you see me doing it sideways on, one arm is still dragging. It's Lu, if you know Peng, Lu, Ji, An. Lu means smooth down or roll back. And as you do that, you'll notice that one hand is closer to the hip and the other is still following. You don't just kind of chuck it back. You gently bring it down. And then I want you to round off the movement at the end. So go into a hug. But can you see how one hand is still in front of the other? So I have an inner hug and an outer hug. So I roll down and round off. Yeah? Roll down and round off. I just curve my hands in so that I have a ball nearest me and then a bigger ball on the outside. I'm going to gently float those two balls up. So one hand is on the inside, one hand is on the outside, and then I square up. So now I have one hand in front and one hand behind. If I bend, I look like this. Yeah? So then we do the same thing on the other side. Open and grab the throat. So the hand on the outside grabs the throat. You start to turn your waist, and that allows the other hand to come forwards and grab the throat. Two throat grabs, and then smooth down, Lu. Round it off. So the hand that is following should be on the outside. Both hands turn to face in, float up, square up. One hand on the outside, you see? One hand on the inside. Again, grab the throat, draw down, grab the throat, draw down, round it off. The hand closest to the front is on the outside. Float up and square up, open, grab the throat, and roll down. Round it off, float up, square up. Don't worry if you get it wrong, you can try again. Grab the throat, roll down. Round it off, float up, square up. Open, grab the throat, roll down. Round it off, float up, square up. Open the front hand, grab the throat, roll down. Round it off, float up, square up. I'm going to show you from the side. Grab the throat, to one side, hug, float up, square up. Grab the throat, to the other side, round it off, float up, square up. Don't think about it, please. Just do it. You'd be amazed how much easier it is when you stop thinking and just move. Grab the throat, roll down, hug, float up, square up. Grab the throat. So we're alternating which side we go to. Front hand grabs, back hand grabs, to the other side. Round, float up, square up. Front hand grabs, Backhand grabs, down to the side, round off, float up, square up. I wonder will it help if I do a back view. So let's try grabbing with the left hand, then the right hand, down to the left, float up, square up. Grab with the right hand, then the left hand, down to the right, hug, float up, square up. Left hand, right hand, down to the left, hug, square up. Right, left, down, hug. It's one of these practices that at first it seems very complex, but once you crack it, it flows beautifully. Right, left, to the side, hug, square up. Left, right, to the side, hug, square up, and rest. Good, take a breath. Now, the question is, have you got it? Are there any questions? What do you say? Have you got it? Yeah? Yeah? Good? Ish? I love this. Maybe. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, we've done the feet, we've done the arms. Have a wee look at the two together. And actually, in a way, I think, as often is the case, it's easier when you put the arms and the legs together because they help each other. So if you've never done Tai Chi before, you might find this really strange because the hands and the legs work same side as opposed to opposition. So normally when we walk with opposition. The arms and the legs swing alternatively. But often in Tai Chi, not always, but often we work same side, which means that we're leading with one side, hand and foot, which means we can strike and block and keep our body away from our opponent and give them less of a target than if we were to come at them square on, where we have to be very close to them and it's much harder for us to invade their space and we have a much bigger target. So it makes a lot of sense in the martial context that we use same side and we turn our bodies. So just watch, please. I'll show you it front view, I'll show you it side view, and then we'll do it together. Okay, so right hand and foot works together and left hand and foot works together. So I grab the throat as I step, I grab the throat as I step, I roll towards my back foot, round it off, float up and square up, pulling back the front foot. And then I do the same on the other side. I grab and grab, roll back, round it off, and square up. I grab and I grab, I roll back, round it off, and square up. Okay, watch it, watch it from the side. Grab, grab, roll back, square up. Grab, grab, roll back, square up. Grab, grab, roll back, square up. Okay, so can you see how the foot coming back is a result of squaring up the hip? You don't have to think about bringing the foot back in. It should naturally happen because you're squaring your body so it makes the leg want to come back. Let's give it a go. I'm going to lower the screen a little bit because you don't need to see my head. The head is just on top of my neck and shoulders, but I'd like you to have a look at what's going on with my arms and legs. Okay, so first of all, we'll do a mini wuji. We start with our heels together, toes a little bit apart. We lengthen up through the top of the head, chin slightly down and back, and we breathe and calm and relax down. Just let yourself chill out. and listen behind. Good, so we're going to sit down into our right foot, release the left foot, and we're going to extend the left arm. So your left arm is, or left hand is above the left foot. If you see, my left hand is above my left foot. My right hand is pretty much above my right foot. So you have this sort of forwards and back thing. So upper body and lower body are in harmony. We're using the 3 harmonies. So now we're going to grab with the left foot and step with the, grab with the left hand, step with the left foot and step through and grab again. And your body weight will naturally go forwards. So you're grabbing, your weight is forwards. Now feed your weight back and swing the arms gently down towards your left. Round them off, float them up and square up and release your front foot. It'll bounce back of its own accord. Now we do the same thing on the other side. We step, grab the throat, step, grab the throat with the left, feed the weight back, round it off, float up, square up, the foot bounces back. One more time. Grab with the left, grab with the right, roll back, round it off, float up, square up and release. Excellent. Let's do it again. Okay, one more time. Ready? We lengthen up and we relax down. Release into your right side. Let the left foot release and come forwards. Left hand is forwards, palms facing up to begin. Right hand about level with your elbow. Ready? And grab as you step. Grab as you step. Roll back, round off, square up. Right side, grab. Left side, grab. Roll to the right, round it off, square up. Left side, right side, roll back, round it off, square up. And rest. Let's do it one more time. This is the most difficult, folks. This is the most difficult of the 5 elements, I think, but it's very worth the practice. It's very useful. It's a lovely sequence. Once you've got it, it flows, it dances out really nicely. Yes, it's the most martial aspect of the form, the fifth series of movements, but it's also the most dancerly. It really flows very nicely. So let's try one more time. Ready? We float up and we relax down. Sit down, release, left. And 1, 2, 3, square up. 1, 2, 3, square up. 1, 2, 3, square up. And rest. I think we could do it once more, don't you? Let's try. Sit into right, left hand and foot forwards. Grab and step together, left side. Grab and step, right side. Back, square up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest. Very good. I'd love for you if you had a nice long space, maybe a galley kitchen or a garden, or if you're very brave, you could go to the park and you just walk your way round and get that lovely flow. You can try it at different speeds, it doesn't matter. See how you get on. Good. Once you get it, you will have got it. And if you keep practicing, you will get a lot out of it. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the gold drill. Very good for the lungs, very good for the large intestines, very good for lungs. What's the emotion linked with lungs? Grief and sadness. Yeah, so if you are going through stuff, if you're at a loss, literally, doing gold work can be of great benefit. But remember that all of the organs work in synchronicity and harmony with each other. So no matter what is going on, it is really useful to do 5 elements. So seeing as we've spent so long on the lungs today, why don't we just spend a little bit of time on balancing out the other elements and use that as our warm down? And if you're thinking, crikey, it took the whole class to work on the lungs, the rest of them are really quite simple by comparison. So let's do a little bit of old cat washes its face. We turn the waist and we're just going to fold the upper hand over. So it's a block. Imagine again, like someone is coming at you with chain punches. You want to block their fist, block their hands out of the way. And we do that again by turning the waist. And we have this like folding box movement. And as one does a short movement, the other does a long movement. So we have a quarter and a 3/4 of the circle. Again, I can break it down into its constituent parts, but it's easiest if you don't think about it. Just turn your waist and block and just let your arms move from the elbows. So that's a variation of old cat washes its face. Now I'd like you to do white snake spits out its tongue. So we turn the waist and we pierce with the fingertips towards the solar plexus of your imaginary partner. So your own size, you want it to strike the center point of the line. Do you see what I'm doing? Turning the waist and striking. Make the energy nice and strong in your fingers. You see that half pipe? I'm not flat, I'm slightly scooped. That gives it strength. That's your white snake spits out its tongue. So we can put the two together. We can do fold a box and strike. Now the hand that just struck, fold a box, other hand strike. A little bit of coordination, fold and strike, fold and strike, fold and strike, fold and strike. We're not going to do the legs as well because there's just too much. We're doing this as warm down, fold and strike, fold and strike. That's the water, so that's for kidneys and bladder and the fear reflex. Now we have our choo-choo train, so turn the waist and turn the waist. And if you see from the side, we're doing a little stretch. Choo-choo train and stretch. One elbow back, the other hand fingers forwards. And that is our wood element for the liver and gallbladder. And for anger and frustration, we can do a nice stretch for the liver. Good. Okay, now we have the fire element, and that is like Jade Maiden plays shuttles. We're going to block, if you can, do what you can comfortably, please, and stretch. We rise. So both hands are extending. So you have offensive and defensive and offensive. Slide it down. Simple getting out of it. Block in front of the heart, rise. Press it forwards, slide down. Block, rise. Slide down. So this is the fire element. This is for the heart and the small intestines. Every part of the body is important, even if it's happy. Give it a wee bit of love. It can only thank you for it. Slide down, block, and rise. Slide down, block, in front of the heart, press forwards, rise. Both hands extending forwards at the same time. Lovely, open your stance, and now we have earth element for stomach and spleen. Big scoops, much bigger than your standard cloud hands. We want to be able to see below, underneath the palm. So we're really circling the base of the body and the top of the head. The whole body gets a bit of love, a bit of energy circulation. Very good, folks. Well done. Let's finish with a deep breath. Good, deep breath. Fill your lungs and hold your breath at the top, stretching your fingers into the sky, pressing your toes into the earth. Think of sealing in all your good energy, and now release. Relax down and cover center. Hug your elbows gently in and breathe into the dantian, to the lower energy center. Calming down, and feel your energy is stronger. Very good. Well, folks, I hope you have enjoyed your gold drill today to balance out the metal in your body. I'm wishing you very good health. I'm delighted to be back with you. I'm delighted to have the energy once more to be doing Tai Chi. It is not what we want for the body ever to give us grief. And Tai Chi can certainly help so much. But please do remember, sometimes the thing that your body needs the most is rest. And if that is the case, please give it what it's asking for, because that can really help. So the team is your doctors, your holistic health practitioners like myself, and your own instincts. If you work with all three, hopefully you don't need to go to the doctor very much, but if you work with all three, hopefully you have every chance of living your healthiest and best life. Please relax, enjoy, practice, drink well, eat well, sleep well, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye for now.